Hello students and welcome back. I'm very happy to see you today because I reviewed your videos yesterday and you all did a great job. I'm very proud of you. But I think we should stop a moment and, revise some pronunciation issues about the past tense verbs. But before starting, I want you to help me write down some verbs, some past tense verbs on the blackboard. So come on, hold your finger up, or maybe just scream and tell me the verbs. Alright, so helped, alright, decided, asked. Alright, as you can see, I'm pronouncing the verbs in different ways, and it's the argument of today's lesson. Maybe you can help me pronounce the verbs we have just written on the blackboard. So, for example, we have want, and in the videos I reviewed, I saw that most of you pronounced the verb wanted, right? So you should forget add. I'm Italian, so I understand that it's a very big problem because in Italy, most of us pronounce ed ed, right? Because it's very similar to Italian, but it's wanted, all right? Wanted. It's not helped, it's helped. It's not decided, it's decided. It's not called, it's called, all right? So today we're going to see 3 different ways, all right, to pronounce ed in the past tense verbs. So let's get it started. Right. So the pronunciation of the past tense verbs depends on the last sound, right? So the last consonant sound of the verb. And so I think that the easiest, all right, is when the last sound is d or t, all right? So, for example, decide, all right? So you should pronounce all these verbs with the last it. Right? So decided, all right? So not decided, decided. So let's practice a bit with this first kind of pronunciation. So can you give me one example of last consonant sound d or t? Alright, so let's see. Sarah, do you have an example? Yes, very good. And. So it's not ended, it's ended. Very nice, very nice. You did a great job. So this is the first kind of pronunciation. So another famous verb is want. All right? It's not wanted, it's wanted. Okay? So it's a very important point. And this was the first type of pronunciation. So we have the second. And it's, for example, ask. All right? It's not asked. It's asked. And this is a new rule, and these are the so-called unvoiced consonant sounds. And if you recall, we talked about these kinds of sounds in our first lessons, all right? And so maybe some of you recall them, but I strongly suggest to review all these kinds of sounds, right? So unvoiced and voiced consonant sounds, they are very important. So Can you give me more examples of this pronunciation that is t, asked, all right? Asked. So, for example, watched, okay? Luca, do you have maybe some new examples? Help, very good. So you're very good, guys. So helped, okay, very good. And then we have another sound, another final sound, that is when we have the last sound is a voiced consonant, all right? And so the pronunciation is the. Cold, all right? Not called, because in the videos, most of you used called, helped, decided, and I absolutely understand why, because it's an Italian classroom, and in Italy we pronounce ed, right? But it's different in English, okay? So cold, all right? Cold is an example of those verbs that we pronounce with a final d. Do we have any other examples? All right, maybe hold your finger up. Okay, Sarah, agree. All right, what does this word mean? Yes, right. Agree is when I think that you are saying something that is true, right? So I agree with you, and the pronunciation is agreed, all right? So now it's time to practice. So we revised the 3 different ways to pronounce the ed suffix. And so decided, asked, called, all right? And so it's time to practice, and I want you to read a dialogue, underline all the verbs or the past tense verbs, and then you're going to read them out loud, and we're going to check pronunciation, right? Even with the help of your peers. So let's get started.